Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I've been hiding something from you for a while. Right after I have moved in this shop, I discovered this thing on the local Craigslist browsing, and I said, oh my god, I have to buy it for them. They will love project like this. So I went to pick it up, loaded it in the van I had at the time, brought it in the shop, hang it on this cherry picker. So here you got it. Today is the day. We will reveal what is underneath this blanket and we will start a new exciting project. Now let's start the little description and the story I got from the previous owner. You can still keep guessing and then I will finally tell you what it is. So, regarding the previous owner, this part was inside of the Toyota Tundra. But it was not that full-size long cab, it was a single cab Toyota Tundra. I forgot the year, I'm not sure if he told me, he probably did. Most importantly, this part was perfectly working until approximately 280,000 miles when the vehicle started losing power. And apparently it was drivable only like 55-60 miles per hour. So it spent its whole life hard work pulling the trailers in the body of the Tundra and then started having problems. It was being diagnosed, I don't know with whom, of what, which shop, and they decided to get rid of this part, replace it with a new used one from a dismantle place or recycling place, junkyard, whatever we will call it. They will just replace it with the used unit and keep using that Toyota Tundra. So, are you ready? Did you already guess what is behind me? Let's go and do it. Here you got it, my friend. This is it. Toyota's legendary V6 engine, model 1GR FE. I bet most of you know it's a 4-liter V6 engine. And now we could argue that maybe this one is one of the best Toyota ever made or the best. And the fact it failed doesn't matter because this might be exception to the rule because most of them easily last 300,000 miles without any major service. And please excuse me acting like a kid in the candy store. I was really waiting or looking forward to this moment to share this with you for such a long time. It was just sitting here. I kept covering it in the shop so you don't see it while I'm filming on the other cars and making different videos. So I'm so excited so we can start this project, tear this engine completely apart while discussing the features, details, and so on. So that's the reason for my kind of crazy behavior. I didn't snore any white powder or anything. I'm just so happy I can finally show you around, share the story, and we will start digging in the deep, learning about this legend, and see how everything works. And we better look in detail on the back of the engine, which you never see because it's towards to the cabin. This is where the transmission is attached. These areas you normally don't see, it's hidden. You can also see, very interestingly, right? It says 1GR and left hand, because the left hand is always from the view of the driver. So this will be driver side and the passenger side. Sure enough, it says here on the head 1GR right hand. So it will be interesting to see, or if we can find out what happened to this engine, why it lost power, and what's the story. Maybe we should put, all of us, our detective caps on and pay attention to every single detail which we will see on this engine, and maybe we can figure out what happened and why it failed. I'm really not sure if the previous owner got really any diagnosis. They just knew, or they made decision the engine is bad, and they replaced it with the different unit which was used from the junkyard. Also, looking on the back, it's not just the side which you don't see normally, but we will be mounting this entire engine on the engine stand, and therefore this will be again completely blocked by that engine stand. So if you look with me, for example, this is the rear main seal right here, and if you look on the amount of the oil which is underneath here, we can see that that rear main seal was perfectly sealing all the way up to 280,000 miles. There's no visible trace of the oil leaking out and dripping on the bottom here, getting out. So this actually, that seal did incredible job at such a high mileage. There are many different makes of motors. When this will be replaced already once, this one absolutely and greatly held. Here you can see the head, and you can see the split right here. So that's what you know. That's where the head gaskets are. You can actually see the head gasket, the blackness of it right here. That's the material which I'm just touching. Isn't it absolutely incredible that at 280,000 miles, the head gaskets seem to be perfectly working. There's absolutely no leaks of oil or the coolant, which everybody knows are plugging a different brand. It's a Subaru. I mentioned the videos about the Subarus, how these engines are unreliable, and all of them fail. The head gaskets have to be replaced all over again. Some of you agreed in the comments underneath the video. Few of you got personal, got angry and offended, and those people said, well, the other engines has different failures, blah blah blah. Well, I owned and serviced plenty of Subarus in the past, and at 280 you will be probably replacing head gaskets on that Boxer engine already like twice. So I'm just trying to compare it. Everybody does what they want. If you love Subarus, they have great advantages, different ones. I'm not saying they don't. But we are Toyota people. We speak about the Toyotas, and that was only for a comparison. Talking about flaws. Well, this engine, this 1GRFE, when it was introduced in the Forerunners and it was in the Tacomas, that was most common, I remember it was plugged by the relatively expensive repair, or the problem which needed repair, excuse me. And you are seeing it on this engine. When I got it, it was way more full of oil in this area. You see that heavy oil still, the residue around here, here, but this was all, if you look closely, I used a steel brush and I started cleaning it, but I stopped. I knew I need to show you. So some of you again, if you follow, do you see how much oil was leaking here? And it's covered, right? There is that dry dirt and dust from the road. This is basically all covered in the oil. You can see it, correct? So to make the Subaru people happy, we will admit a fail on 1GRFE. Because if you follow here, this area, look at it. Suddenly, this is clean. Further and further we go this way, there's basically less and less of that nasty debris. So the relatively expensive problem to repair was, this is so-called timing chain cover. That entire aluminum piece on the front, it's called timing chain cover. And it started, in beginning, I was still working at the dealer. It started leaking oil in this area. So somebody might have think there was a power steering pump mounted here, which is behind me on the table. I will show you what more came with it. So there was a leak of the oil. And we were, when it started, let's say the year 2012, 2010, somewhere there, we were really doing under the recall. The Toyota admitted there was a problem, and we were resealing those timing chain covers. That, of course, was labor-intensive process because you had to remove all the parts. AC compressor off, all what you see here, water pump. There was the power steering pump here, alternator. Everything had to be removed. You have to remove the valve covers. And only after you was able very carefully pop off towards to the front that timing chain cover, this whole extensive big part. Obviously the pulley, everything had to be removed. Reseal, everything had to be cleaned off, resealed, and installed back. There was a choice of replacing obviously main crank seal, there was a water pump, there was a choice for the customer. If they wanted pay for it, I don't think the water pump was included, but we were doing the main crank seal on the front. Everything had to be resealed and put back. So if that will make some Subaru fan feel better, that not only Subaru engines fails, this was, I will say, only one flaw of this 1GR FE. I will say the only one I am aware of. These videos I make for all of us to discuss what is our experience, knowledge. So if you know another flaws of these engines, which could be considered appearing on most of them, please share it underneath this video with others. This is exactly what I'm trying to do with this channel. So this is basically how I purchased it for you for $100 of the Craigslist. I think there is a very unfortunate situation which happened with it. The people, the previous owners, they yanked it out of that Tundra and they just kicked it on the side of the curb. It was sitting in the rain. This is actually, was clearly told, they said, hey, this is not a part of the failure. It was sitting on the side of the driveway. We backed trailer into it. We broke it. So when you will be taking it apart for your viewers, just be clear. And the part, this broken part, is actually inside. It fell inside. Unfortunately, they left it sitting in the rain with the intake completely open. So I'm afraid that might make it harder for us to find out what is the problem and what caused the failure and the replacement. Now, as it is on this cherry picker, I tried to turn the engine, and you know we always turn them only clockwise. So I tried to do that. It was almost impossible, but when it finally gave up, with all the spark plugs out, when it finally broke loose, it just sprayed out crazy amounts of the rust. You can probably see it still here. So it made mess all over the cherry picker, over the floor. I'm afraid we will find a lot of rust, unfortunately. I don't think that this engine is savable. This is not the mission. The mission of this video and on this project is to learn as much as possible about this engine, its function, its details, how it all works, and basically learn something and become experts. Let me show you what is the remaining, what I got with it. It was in the box, I guess. Alternator in very bad shape. I'm not sure if this can be used anymore. I just kept it. Here is that power steering pump, correct? We were saying that's what is mounted right here on the engine. Basically right here, boom, boom, boom. And that's what sometimes confused people. They thought the power steering pump is leaking, but it was that entire timing chain cover. It's a 6-cylinder, so we have 6 ignition coils. And we will also use this bunch of spark plugs as detectives. We will be investigating crime scene. And I can tell you, if we use different camera and we look on the tips, the one which is number 3 from the left, third from the left, if I look on the tip, I will already start making assumptions about this engine fail. Here somebody got some wire harness, I'm not sure why they did that. And here is that incredible cooling fan clutch, right? The fan is missing. It was apparently transferred on the new engine, but this clutch is totally fine. They probably replace it. Maybe they were afraid of overheating, but that has, when this will be cleaned, it could be used because it has that perfect resistance inside. It works perfectly fine, I can tell you. I inspect so many of them all the time, so I know this one is fine. Will I use it on somebody's vehicle? No, no way, obviously. But it can be a backup or just part of the ordering. That's some of us do, right? We will start keeping all the screws, bolts, nuts, wires, ignition stuff, coils, and then you have more and more stuff sitting around and you have no idea why you're keeping it. I hope that you are having the same excitement like I have. If you do, make sure you are subscribed because these videos will follow on this channel very soon as I will have a time to continue this project. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. If you like this, please give it a thumb up and I will catch you soon in the next video. See ya.